Hiya guys. Just going to give it a few minutes because I know a few girlies are going to get here just around 9 o'clock. God, it has been an eventful week. That's all I can say. But we're going to go into detail about everything that's going on from my point of view, basically. So the first thing I have to start off with, I have to warn everybody that this video is actually going to be part of a court case. So before people start writing in their like bitchy comments and nasty comments, just think twice about that because this video is going to be shown in a court case. Quickly, the video with Paula Benny that I did the other night, and the man felt the right to come on my Facebook, screenshot it, put mine and Paula's face up on his channel and start talking about us in quite a derogatory way. So I basically did a copyright on it, got it taken down. But the way YouTube works is if he wants to contest that, I have 10 days to prove that I am going to sue him, not only for copyright, but for also defamation and harassment and bullying. And there's a whole line of things I've got on this guy. So yeah, that will be happening. He'll be getting a letter from my solicitor sometime next week. So yeah, let's start with Anne because I think this is the best thing to do. Basically, I first knew of Anne a couple of years ago when the Humble Dryer and a few other accounts names, there's quite a few of them to be honest, they were putting the pressure on Paula. And when I looked at these accounts, they were doing it to other people as well. And I kind of have this thing on the internet. I've been in the kind of the independent film industry for quite a while now, and you get a lot of flying monkeys, a lot of accounts being made up, people saying this, people saying that. So I don't tend to pay a lot of attention to it until it gets really spiteful. So yeah, we did this podcast 2 days ago. He didn't quite like the fact that Paula was back on YouTube. He thought, how dare she come on YouTube? How dare I give her a platform to speak about anything? I really don't get where this guy comes off or who he thinks he is. I will look at the comments, guys, in a minute, but I'm just going to get everything out and then I'll chat to you guys, answer your questions. And then I've got someone from my production actually coming on later who's going to make Anne look very silly. Somebody that's known me for 8 years personally, very close friends. So yeah, like I'm a bit sick and tired of all these fake accounts making up their own rendition of who I am and what it is I do. I haven't had much luck with the fact that anytime I get a disgruntled actor or crew member within our team over the years, they kind of use social media to group together and cause this little playground of hate. And I'm not playing games anymore. I'm not going to fall into this Andy Drogan, or sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. I really don't know how you're spelling it. But Andy Drogan's like narrative or his lies. It is what it is. There's a lot of evidence out there of what's been going on. I can let me just go to my notes because there's a lot of questions I've got to answer already. So yeah, basically how I met Anne was he was basically involved with this Paula. I didn't know much about him. I did tell Paula just to ignore it. He's a flying monkey. There's a lot of them about. But things escalated on her side. I don't really want to go into her. That's her story to tell. But the minute I've backed up Paula, it seems to me that this Anne will have anyone that talks against Humble Dryer. Now, Humble Dryer, let's talk about John Wason first. When I first heard about Humble, I didn't trust him. I didn't want anything to do with him. I knew that there was something not quite right about the whole thing. At the time, I was actually being trolled by a guy that had sexually assaulted me in 2018. And there was loads of stuff going on with that lot and a firm fellow group that were involved with the film. So the two things got interconnected. Now, as time's gone on, I'm talking 4 or 5 years ago now, Humble Dryer has come out and he's admitted certain things. And I've actually said that since then, that as much as Humble caused a lot of shit for me in the past, at that point when he actually confessed, that took quite a big thing to do in front of so many people. So I actually respected that. And I kind of moved away, didn't have anything to do with him anymore. And I've not heard a fucking thing from him. So yeah, basically there was a lot of shit going on. I was being accused of trolling a guy called Decker. Decker really had it in for me because he was being told that it was me. I was being accused of being a woman called Donna. There was recordings of this woman doing awful things to people, and everybody was saying it's Sammie Lei, it's Sammie Lei. So you can imagine the internet became quite a playground for quite some time. And in the whole brink of this, you know, I've got people, I don't live on social media, so my real life is completely private and away from what goes on social media. So there was a lot of people in my real life, and you're going to meet one later, that basically saw all this bullshit, and it's just complete lies. But what I've done last night is me and my team did a little bit of digging on this Andy Groin, and it turns out I'm not the first person he's done this to. I've actually got a list of names here, and this isn't just my say so. You can put these names into YouTube or Google, and you will see that there are other people that are actually putting out videos about this man, Andy Groin. So you've got Paula herself, you've got Emma and Brian, they're a couple. You've got a lady called Amy, a young lad called JTPS. There was another account called Mouse, Paddy, Decker, obviously. The famous Sean Atwood had problems with Anne. Brian Harvey, an account called Merseyside. Shiva Burton, the epic, excuse my language, Bellend. I'm sure he's not a Bellend. True Media. And there was a really interesting account that I got a lot of information from called Nigel Watson Supports Jesus. It's a lady called Sharon, I believe. And she has a lot of evidence on Andrew Groin. So yeah, if nobody really believes me in what I'm saying about Andy being this troll and being basically what he is, he's a how do I explain this? He's a provoke demon. So he's one of these little trolls that get off on provoking people. He's been doing it to me all weekend. He's been tagging me in things on YouTube. He made a review of my last film, Roofed, and he admitted in the review that he hadn't seen it, but yet he was being really spiteful and bitchy. Now, a few of my mates have listened to the review. I wasn't too proud to share it. Is that your opinion? We'll share it. But nobody agreed with it. People were actually saying they were going to rent the film. They were saying the film was actually good. So it kind of backfired on Anne, that one. And I just wanted to say thanks for the free PR, because we actually got a few royalties through YouTube by you putting out things like that. But there was also a few things in your review I just wanted to like tally up, just in case your nasty lot were questioning the same thing. So you were taking the mickey out of the fact that there was only 2 reviews on Amazon. Reviews aren't views, okay? So just because 2 people, I don't review films. When I've watched a movie, I don't sit there and go, "Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger played a great part." I'm not a Karen, unlike some people. But yeah, so yeah, I reviewed the film. Why did I review my own film? Because I run a production company for aspiring actors, people that are wanting to progress in the acting world, and they come to my production company, which is registered, and they basically gain the tools to get either IMDb credits by working on a production, or we'll create a show reel for them that fits the scene that they want if they're trying to get a future role, basically. And we build show reels as well. So a lot of the actors that we've worked with over the 7 years of doing it have gone on to do amazing things. And even the guys in Roofed that turned against me and tried to defame my name and call me a liar over a sexual assault and bully and pull all these flying monkeys in that I would never have anything to do with if they weren't getting involved in business that there was no real need to. So yeah, this Anne has been going around calling me homophobic and transphobic, which is pretty hefty, allegations to be saying things like that. And I have got permission to tell you guys this, because at first I was kind of like, no, I don't really need to be telling people that, but it just squashes everything. My daughter's 18 and she's a lesbian. So she's quite happy for me to tell you guys that. She came out when she was 14. So it would be a bit of a, she lives in my house rent free and she has for the last 18 years. So to be going around calling me homophobic is definitely not the case. And also you'll hear more evidence on that one later as well. But yeah, what else can I say about Anne? He has a very interesting following of people that like to cause drama. Like I say, I had my own issues with Humble Dryer at the time. Since then, he's manned up and told people the truth. So I kind of have to respect that. There was another guy called Cumbrian Truth. He got roped into the bullshit at one point. He was man enough to apologise. So I have no issues with him. Anyone that's basically got the balls to realise where they've gone wrong and they're not a nasty little bully. I understand a lot of people, we've all got good and bad sides. Everybody gets irate, everybody gets provoked, and they all say things that, trying to defend their corner. But unfortunately, with people like Humble and Anne, it gets very nasty, and they pull in God knows who also get off on leaving nasty messages. And I'm just a little bit too old in the neck for that. I'm not a silly little girl. I've been around the houses, and you want to put me down for all my content online and stuff. Like, I'm celebrating. I'm 41 next week, and I've had a great life doing what I've done within the media and the jobs I've had. But that's not what this is about. This is about the nitty gritty of it. Is about a 60+ man online attacking vulnerable women that he doesn't know, raking up bits to do with what mistakes they've made in the past. But then he completely ignores all the shit that the predators have done, like Humble. Now, I've heard recordings of Humble threatening other women, and the way he speaks to women is absolutely vile. So I haven't got a time of day for any of these people, especially Andy Groin, because I understand the narrative, I understand the game. We are in fact making a film called Narc, and it's about narcissistic abuse. And over the last sort of 3 years, I've been doing a lot of research, working a lot of like charities, working with a lot of people that have dealt with narcissistic abuse. And you're going to meet, like I said, my friend in a minute, who's also met her fair share of narcissists over the years. And I think now the YouTube's coming out, it's becoming more apparent on how narcs actually work. It's quite textbook in the things that they do. So Anne, for instance, was spending the whole weekend. I mean, I was on a film set. I weren't even online. Didn't even have Wi-Fi. So I weren't getting most of it. I was only getting it when I went to the canteen and stuff. So yeah, it was like when I was getting it, it was like, I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to provoke me to the point that I get on a live and start going, rah, 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 you think my film shit. Babe, I couldn't care if you think my film shit. I know plenty of people that don't think it's shit, and that's why it's on Amazon. And just because you've got nasty little words to say about a film that you've never said, I mean, you kind of showed yourself for what you are in that review. It was just bitter and nasty. And the bit that made me laugh was when, you presume to be a trans or an intersex, whatever it is you're saying you are. I'm not really interested, to be honest, because I don't get involved in other people's sex lives. It's their business. But yeah, it was kind of the bit where you went, ooh, women power, ooh, and you were taking the piss out of Paula for having power and empowering other women and having a great group of women that follow us and actually support us in what we're doing. You got very bitter and twisted over that. And it was great, I must admit. The review you left was absolutely great because, like I said, it got us some royalties in just for Christmas, so I can get my kids some presents with that one. And yeah, the reviews that came back from it, even though you were trying to entice hate and be spiteful, there was actually quite a lot of nice reviews that came from your side. So yeah, what else can I say before I ask questions? Apparently, I don't want to get into do I know if and do I know, because actually the true answer is no, I don't know much about Anne. I know that I've heard he may have been a police inquiry officer working on a front desk. I now have his address and his phone number because when he put the copyright tape back through this today, it actually YouTube sent me his address, his home address, and his phone number. So now I can go and take this to a court of law, and we'll be talking about all the yeah, defamation, really. It's a pretty horrendous thing to sort of try and entice hate on someone and get me hated for thinking that I hate. What I meant by freak, what I don't think he understands, I think he's so used to using that on people and trying to get people in shit for that one, because he's done it before. Apparently, he's just been sued, this Andy Gorin, last year for the similar thing. So you have to look at that on Google. If you just put it in, it'll all come up. So he's well known for doing this kind of thing. But yeah, they sent me all the information that I needed. So I kind of wanted to sort this out with the courts a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't have an address for him. But thanks, YouTube. You've given me what I need. And it's also YouTube that have advised me that I've got 10 days to prove that I'm taking this man to court. But I think it's a little bit more than copyright. So yeah, I think Anne just needs to stop enticing hate on different women, because like I said, there's a list of people there. If you rewind this video back later, you can actually go to those people account and you can see what they're saying about this Andy Gorin. There's a lot of people, and they were only, like I said, I only had a couple of hours last night to do a bit of research on this guy, and he's not a very nice sausage, let's put it that way. And a lot of the accounts that are actually backing him up and having his back, it's him. If you go to the Nigel Watson supports Jesus, she's put a lot of evidence up that Mr. Andrew Goyne has a lot more than one account. So like I say, it's all there for you to have a look at. The reason I'm not taking any shit with Anne this time is because back in 2018, I was sexually assaulted by an actor on Rufid. And since that day, I've had him and his friends trolling me, turning people against me. This is how my name got thrown into the Humble Dryer. I don't know. Humble Dryer says he doesn't know Stu Armstrong, but they don't like each other. I don't know how you can not like someone if you don't know them. So there's something quite not right there. But it was 8 years ago. I'm not interested. I don't ever want to speak to any of these men again. Andrew Goyne is not getting to Paula no matter what he does now, because Paula's not on YouTube. I have been sharing her love and everything that you've been sending like to her, and she's really appreciative of that. But you know, she's having a great life off YouTube, and it is a bit of a cesspit, if I'm honest, because there's so many people willing out there to sort of say nasty things. I mean, and Drogan didn't just slag me off with that review. He was really disrespecting some great actors and people that had put a lot of hard work in over the years. He even accused me of being an actor that left a review, and that actor is quite well known within the industry, and he left that. So when he's spouting his bullshit, there's stuff out there to prove that it's not true. And I think that's where he slipped up with me, is, you know, you can't go around doing this to people and saying these things and getting away with it. Unfortunately, I don't work that way. So yeah, we're going to be making this go to the next stage, which I will keep everybody posted as we do it. Let me just check. Sorry, and then I'll check the comments. Oh yeah, so basically the fact that I'm accusing him, he's accusing me of being homophobic. What I meant by freak, I didn't say anything homophobic. I said he was a freak. What I meant by that is that he's 80 years old and he's talking to 20-year-old lads online. My son is 23 years old, and I would not be happy if somebody like him was grooming my son in his bedroom, because the stuff he's doing is barbaric. The bitching. Sean Atterwood and his mate fell asleep during the interview. That is so funny. Like, you have to go see that. The guy is just, he rants and bullshits and just pulls in other bullies. And that's basically what this guy does for clicks and views. And he thought by using me for clicks and views would be a good idea. But unfortunately, it's backfired on the little kumquat. So I'm not going to really go into the copyright thing I did before. I've just sued somebody else for copyright infringement. It was a guy that tried to steal my film, but I'm actually going to be doing a whole video on that. I don't know if you remember the show Can't Pay Will Take It Away with the bailiffs. Well, it's those guys that are actually dealing with my case. So they're dealing with the guy right now. The High Court have gone in. I weren't having this guy steal my film and troll me and do all the things he was doing. So yeah, I will be doing a separate thing on that. But I think that's for a different time. And yeah, basically, I was just going to bring. There's no point in. Not many people. To be honest, the Mason Fardeau stuff. He's just another narcissist that got pissed off with me a few years ago, and now he sort of teams up with people. There's a lot of them. They kind of like team up and, you know, slag me off online and shit like that, but none of them have ever got anything sort of interesting to say. A lot of them I haven't actually done anything personal to. It's because someone told them not to like me. And I'm not, to be honest, I don't even want to go into all that because it just deflects from what's going on with the Anne situation. And there's lots of videos if you're really interested in what's been going on with my side of the trolling. If you go into my channel, there's like loads of videos about what's been going on with evidence, with proof, right, dating back to when I came into all of this. But yeah, to be honest, I'm getting a little bit sick of repeating everything for people that, quite frankly, ain't listening anyway. It's like these little narc demons, these provokers, they get off on watching you prove yourself. Like, they know you're innocent. They know you're not. They just get off on all the excitement. And I'm just, like I say, I'm not into that kind of crap. So yeah, I'm just gonna have a quick look at the comments. Then I'm going to quickly go over these notes, just make sure I haven't missed anything. And then I'm going to invite my mate Anne-Marie on, who's been my mate for 8 years now. Really good mate. So she's going to give you a little lowdown on what kind of person I am, and whether she thinks any of Anne's allegations are true. So yeah, let me just get in here, guys. Let's see. Oh God, there's a lot of you. Hello. Wonder how many of you are haters. Right. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Paula like that tonight because she's not here to kind of defend herself. Hi, Magpie, Miss Magpie. Hello, Cumbrian Truth. You all right, mate? I ain't got issues with you, mate. You were one of the ones that manned up. It's hard to find men like that nowadays. Like I say, you know, everybody got like confused. Everyone was having accounts made. I was getting trolled by people that weren't actually them, you know, and you know, I'm not even gonna like get involved. It's just too much of a whirlwind. So like it's just best to just be happy, move on with your life. But unfortunately, some people don't want you moving on with your life. And they don't want you to like feel good and stuff. And that's not what my lot are about. So they really are like losing one, really. Yeah, I heard that, but I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't really want to go into things that I don't know whether it's true or not. I can only talk about things I definitely know. So, because like I say, there's a lot of people saying this, and there's a lot of people saying that. I know how I got involved with all this lot. I know that this is down to, basically it started with a handful of men because of the roofage shit. And then they went on to try and invoke other people and flying monkeys. You can see if you read the comments, there's a few of them in here tonight. But yeah, they're just pathetic little people. They really are. It's like, it's not scary. It's ridiculous. So yeah, we're going to be making examples of people in the courts of law, and some people are going to have to pay some pennies, and maybe that will stop them from acting like complete douchebags. Because it is pretty childish if you think about it. Do you know what I mean? The stuff that's going on. Oh yeah, well that's a good point. I'm not going to give this person airtime with their name. You can read in the comments, but they've just said that I'm going to get my karma. There were 3 men that were trolling me, probably about 4 years ago, up until last year. They're all dead now. Now, not that I had anything to do with it, but it was the universe, and it had to be put a stop to. So, yeah, I believe in karma, big time. 100% I believe in karma, and it kind of works out for me. A little bit like getting Anne's address tonight, you know? That gives me, hello, we're going to a court. Whereas before, I didn't even know if Anne Drogan was a name or anything. It was kind of like, but it's not his real name. But I'm not going to give out addresses and phone numbers and real names of people because that's just silly. And that's what I'm against, this bullying and outing people online and rah, let's make someone's life hell. Like, it's pathetic. It really is, like, just such a silly game. So yeah, that answers that question really. We're kind of a different species, you know, as you'll see later when you meet my guest. Don't normally do this kind of get online and slag strangers off. We get online and show what strangers are doing to us and how pathetic and envious and jealous and bitter and twisted and all the other stuff that a narc has. We do show that. Like when I'm getting horrible messages Christmas morning from ex-cast members and things like that. I'm going to share that shit. I'm going to share that shit. So yeah, karma does definitely work. Paula is a lovely lady. Yeah, I know she is, darling. She's amazing. I've never had an issue with her, and I've known her 4 years now. And she kind of helped it make all sense, really. There were certain people that helped me through understanding all of this and what it was all about. And then obviously connecting the names and the accounts and stuff. It's just like, to be honest, it's old news. It is old news. But yeah, this Anne the man, like, I haven't got any issues with anyone anymore. Mason Fardo still likes to give me a little bit of shit now and again, but he's just having a little temper tantrum. You can kind of understand that coming from someone like Mason. It's cool. Paul Smith, what films have you been in? Well, I wouldn't want to list it. If you go to my IMDb, there's like stuff on there. You can have a little look. I mainly make films for people, so we more on the production side to it, so putting things together for show reels and things like that for people that want to aspire to get into it a bit more. I suppose you could say it's more like it's like an adult drama school, but for film rather than theatre. Karma is a killer. It is my swinger. It really is. I've seen it a lot lately. A lot of these arseholes have been getting their juju. Lots of people have left the corner, sadly. Yeah, I get it. Like, people are seeing it, and that's what I mean. You've got 2 kinds of people here. You've got the cesspit people, which, I mean, you only have to go on Netflix and ITV to see these kind of people, like the trolls, and how they get off on doing all this and how they work. So there's a lot of stuff out there. But then they try and do it to you and latch onto you, and that's the thing. When you realise that you're dealing with a certain kind of species of person, you kind of like, it's like water off a duck's back. But I do understand how, someone constantly getting nasty messages. I mean, I must admit, this weekend we've been laughing our heads off at the stuff Andy's been putting up, because it was just like he was digging himself a deeper hole, and it was just getting worse and worse, because there's loads of people that know me and they know. I mean, Jesus, we made 2 films that had man in drag. Like, one of my really good mates and an actor that we worked with. Like, it's not, it's, this is what they do. And if you just literally put in Androgen, you'll see that he has many fake accounts. He has many accounts talking about him. And another thing Anne Drogan likes to do is call women prostitutes. So I found that quite funny when he said that, but like I noticed he'd said it to a couple of other women on their videos. She'd said that he does that. So when you've spoken to a few of the, they're not just female victims, there's male guys as well. Yeah, there's males as well. But yeah, he likes to call you a prostitute. He likes to have a go at your looks, say you're ugly. And then he turned all his spiteful bitterness onto the film and the actors. But then he admitted he hadn't actually watched the film. So yeah, it's a bit one of the. It's like you're never gonna argue with a narcissist, because it's like they're only gonna see tunnel vision. They're only gonna see their narrative. The way I look at it all, just before I get Anne-Marie on, yeah, the way I look at it is he's a lonely old man. He's got to be past 60 odds, little confused, not got much in life, sits on his YouTube channel, and he has to find something that's relevant. And that's what he does. But he does it in a very, he doesn't like people to have a different opinion from him. And God help you if you back up someone he doesn't like. Like, he'll give you bad reviews and everything. So you've got a fat ass and God what to say. But yeah, no, at the end of the day, I think he's just jealous that, he's never going to be a woman. He doesn't like women. You listen to that review, he doesn't like the fact that women support women and we pick each other up. And yeah, the film Narc is all going to explain exactly how the Narc works and how he feels. So, but yeah, I think that's most of it, really. There's not much to say about him. He's just a lonely old man that's abusing his YouTube power. You've got a lot of nasty people in there, or have you? Because it could be just him on fake accounts being nasty to you. So I give up. But like I say, now YouTube have basically said to me, he's not uploading my work. I've just been through this with another guy that thought he could do that. So yeah, now I've got everything that I need. I can literally go to court and sue him like I sued the last one. Like I say, I'm not going to go into too much detail about the last guy. He has been a little bit of a fucker to find, but yeah, watch this space. So, right, I'm just going to see if the beautiful Anne-Marie is ready, and hopefully she'll come in. She's basically an actress that's been with Sammie Lei Productions for 7 years. She's worked on 4 or 5 films. And yeah, she's basically going to come and tell you what it's like to work on set, what I'm like to work on set. Basically what she thinks about this Andy going as an outsider, because she doesn't really use YouTube. She's only heard of all this through the actors being slated for not doing anything, really. I mean, Anne-Marie was brilliant. She actually helped raise £5,000 for Make-A-Wish Foundation through one of the films, where she played Cinderella. And it was great. You can watch it on YouTube for free. But yeah, we did really well with that one. So for Anne to be coming across like this agony aunt that cares for people and wants to help people, and then going out and bullying people and mouthing off to people that he doesn't know, he's made himself look like a bit of an egghead, really. So I don't really have to say much. Like I said, you Google the name, it all comes up. So let me just see what's happening with Anne-Marie, because she's... Oh, she's wiggling. Sorry, guys, 2 seconds. Hang on, she's saying she's having issues with the link. So it might be that I've got to go out and add her again if it's expired. We're like quite new to this. If not, babe, I'll come out and we'll do another one and everyone will just have to follow. Sorry, guys, we did this with Paula the other night. You're still having issues, babe? Give thumbs up if you're having issues. Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute, the Courtney stuff, if you want. I just want to get Anne Marie on because she was there around about the time she saw what I went through and everything that was going on. So okay, I think what I'm gonna have to do, guys, is go out, set up another live. She's saying she's having trouble with this link. So yeah, I will see you on the other side. Sorry, darling.